Hey everybody. So as I sit here and feed my little Sedona, clearly as you can see she likes to be active while she's feeding, grabbing on my earrings because they're so fun. I had a good friend share with me that she thought it could be helpful for me to start to share some perspectives in relation to breastfeeding and what seems to be common issues with babies that Sedona, my daughter, does not have. And I'm able to not just justify, but I'm able to explain it in a way because of understanding how the body detoxes. And I usually do this and describe it in relation to adults, but how this translates into babies is now in recognition of what seems to be these normal things that all babies have. For example, spit up. It's believed that all babies spit up, and really it's their body's way of getting stuff out. It's actually, spit up is really like the equivalent to a little bit of vomiting if you think about it. And whenever they spit up, sometimes they're like, oh, they're a happy spit upper or happy spitter, or and other times they're really uncomfortable. They might be colicky prior to, because of the fact that their stomach is upset, their belly, their digestion isn't very happy. And what I notice, I'm a chiropractor for those that don't know, and so I work with babies, and through the neurological adjustments that we deliver in the office, we're able to help allow the nervous system, which controls and coordinates everything inside the body. It helps allow the nervous system to communicate to various areas of the body, including the digestive tract and in the ear and all these other areas. I'm going to try to keep this conversation just in relation to digestion, spit up, and some other common symptoms of babies, and able to help it to reestablish communication and function the way it's supposed to. Now, what are the things that can cause this to happen? You have this beautiful new baby that is pure consciousness that has come into this world. How is it that a baby is like, what has happened for its stomach to get upset, right? Well, what are the foods that the baby is eating? And in this case, like my daughter, who is about to be 8 months pretty soon, she's still exclusively breastfeeding, and the quality of my breast milk matters. Breastfeeding mamas, the quality of your breast milk matters. How does the quality change? Based upon what it is that you're consuming. So we have a beautiful divine responsibility and opportunity to grow and house and this beautiful human being, bringing them into the world and giving them the best opportunity possible. So the same thing applies to formula-fed babies, and I'm going to talk about with breastfeeding, but regardless, milk-fed babies, okay? So let's talk about it in relation to what mom is eating, or let's just go on the other end. Babies with spit up. It is common, but it is not normal. Cradle cap. It is common, but it is not normal. Distended stomachs is common, but not normal. When I say distended, meaning that they're super bloated and like, you know what I mean? Whenever you feel your baby's belly, it's hard and stiff, and usually they're not comfortable. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't be comfortable if your belly was hard and stiff either. So it's called distended bellies, and that's because there's inflammation inside the baby's body, and their intestines are literally inflamed, expanding, and then drawing in extra water and extra fluids. Same thing happens in adults, and then we suddenly have to urinate a lot and everything else. Or if the baby is not voiding, i.e. pooping and peeing, after every time they eat or consume milk. Not right away, but it should be over time. There are people that I know whose babies, if they're even pooping once a day, sometimes it's like every other day. That is not normal. That is not normal. And even if you're like, well, I only poop once a day, like I'm normal. No, how often do you eat? Most people eat 3 times a day. If you're eating 3 times a day and you're only having 1 poop a day, okay, what about all those 3 meals years before? Where is it going? It's getting stored and stacked away in your body, and depending on the quality of the food that's going inside of your body depends on how your body's able to break it down or not break it down, or it ferments if it's carbohydrates, which is like fruits, grains, anything else, or it putrefies if it's animal protein and animal meat, which that word just sounds gross as it is, and that's like this gas, the bloat, and it's acidic in the body. So let's get back to the babies. So babies intestines get inflamed. They start drawing in a lot of fluids because a lot of water, and gets bloaty and distended in their belly and everything because there's acidity, inflammation, which is a normal response. Inflammatory process is a normal body response for the body to try to put out the, quote, fire, in this case, the acidity. And you're like, well, where is the acidity coming from? If it's a breastfed baby, what are you consuming, mom? Their bodies can't handle it anywhere near as much as we have. We've had more life experience, and there's foods that we don't even handle well in our bodies, but we like deny ourselves of truly feeling good, and we'll blame it on, goodness knows what. But babies, their bodies are so pure that they're going to detox. So that's what's happening. Your body is constantly in a state of detox, and detoxing includes like what you're pooping, what you're peeing, what's coming out of your pores, what like the sweat, anywhere where there's liquids, from the mouth to the grit on your teeth to the odor of your breath to the guck that comes out of your eyes to ear serum and everything else, and scalp, dandruff and everything like that, your skin breakouts that you have, like even babies with baby milia, baby acne. Like their body is detoxing. The fact that the baby has like this earwax or having anything come out of their eyes, or the fact that they're having cradle cap, the baby is detoxing. And so their body is going to be really efficient in the beginning to get that stuff out. So if you're consistently having a baby that has cradle cap, their body is consistently having to detox harder, which is why it's coming out through the skin. And so then it makes you wonder, the typical route of detoxing is going to be through elimination. Sorry, Sedona keeps reaching up because she's done feeding right now. Through elimination, which is through fecal, through pooping or peeing. And then the other way is through the skin, because your skin is like your third kidney. So kidneys filter, right? And if it's having issues with that, then guess what? It's going to start to come out in different ways. One of those ways being through the scalp, but it's going to come out through the skin without going too deep into that. And so just to give you perspective on that, it's happening from the fluids or the food that they're consuming. So formula-fed babies, most of the time the formula has cow's milk in it. We weren't designed to have cow's milk. Honestly, we're the only mammals that consume milk from another animal. And people can try to give the justification saying, well, in other countries, if the mom's not able to produce milk, sometimes they will use goat milk or like whatever else. But we were not designed, like babies, we as humans were designed to have mama's milk, right, Sedona? We were designed to have mama's milk. And I get it, there's other issues that could happen with mamas not being able to produce the milk, etc. I'm not going to go into that conversation right now. But if you're doing formula fed, it's really important to not have cow's milk inside of it, because we were not designed to have it. And that casein protein, which is the protein that makes up milk, it's not about lactose intolerance. We're really truly all lactose intolerant, just in varying degrees and how it affects the body, our lifestyle, etc. But the body's going to react to it. Most of the time it's going to be skin reactions and digestive reactions. That's your telltale sign on your body not being able to process any of that animal milk of any sort inside your body. Cheeses, yogurts, ice creams, milk, okay? So baby is going to react quickly and have to detox harder if any of the other areas are backed up. And so they might not be pooping. That's going to be very uncomfortable. Your baby should be pooping multiple times a day based on how many times they're drinking or, drinking milk or consuming. If you're formula feeding, look for the ones that don't have cow's milk in it. Look for organic ones as much as you can. There's different varieties. Are they more expensive? Yes, but your baby deserves it. Okay, your baby needs it. Of course, if you can try to get like milk donors from other mamas that have a plethora of milk, then go for that too if you're not able to breastfeed. Breastfeeding mamas, be aware of what it is that you're consuming. The one thing, cut out the dairy, cut out the milk while you're breastfeeding. Give your baby the best chance to be able to thrive and to not have to be uncomfortable, and get them used to being uncomfortable, because we start to form tolerances. You hear people say like, oh, I have a high pain tolerance. Well, I guess that's good, because then you don't take as much pain medication or something like that. But why? That's not life. You weren't put here on this planet to be suffering, whether that's physical, mental, chemical, whatever it is. Your baby wasn't put here to do that either. So give your baby the best opportunity to realize that cradle cap, spitting up, digestive upset, fussiness, distended bellies, not pooping is not normal, or not pooping more than once a day is not normal. Okay, so don't have to freak out about it, but I want to give you this idea because it's so commonly accepted, and it breaks my heart because if they're starting this at a young age, now imagine as time goes on, imagine the digestive stuff that goes on, and like even reflect back on yourself. Like, how was it for you growing up? Did you have digestive upset? Did you have to take all these enzymes? Were you like labeled with, you know, something like Crohn's disease and all these other digestive issues? Did you have issues going to the bathroom? You know, whether it was like diarrhea all the time or something else. You can change it by the foods that you're eating and do that for your child. If not for you, do it for your baby. But guess what? You're going to benefit from it too. So those are detoxing reactions. And like I said, the body is always in a constant state of detox, but how hard it has to work is depending upon how backed up it is. Okay? So I hope that's just a little bit of insight. If you have more questions or you find these kinds of tips and advice helpful. Why am I saying this? Because my friend recognized Sedona doesn't spit up. I haven't seen her spit up once since she has been here. I'm on vacation right now. You can see the beautiful ocean behind me right here in Destin. And I'm like, no, she doesn't spit up. And I'm vegan. I'm mostly raw vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free. I do what and the reason why I went that direction was really, I'll tell you, if you want to know, I'll record another video and tell you about it. But because Sedona's soul told me that. And so it was really easy for me to switch that. Whenever I was first pregnant with Sedona, her soul had told me, I need you to consume high vibrational foods, meaning high foods that are coming from the earth, that come from Mother Earth, Gaia, right? Fruits and vegetables. She really wants to be part of this right now, right? And that's what she needs. And she lets me know, sometimes even before my body lets me know, that something wasn't right inside my body. And it's not because she's, quote, just sensitive. It's because her body knows what it needs. My body knows what it needs, but I just have to like teach it a little bit more because I'm addicted to, you know, you become addicted to certain foods and stuff. For her, she's like, this is what I want. This is what works best in my body. And she doesn't spit up. She doesn't have cradle cap. She's quite very alert. She's not going without. She poops a lot. However much she's feeding, she ends up having to poop afterwards. Not always like huge amount or anything, but she poops several times a day and doesn't burp. That's another thing. I don't have to like pick her up and like pat her on her back and like forcibly try to make her burp. Literally by her changing positions, she'll burp, she'll belch. But I don't have to like work at making sure I burp my baby, and it's because she's not inflamed. She's not inflamed where I have to help really push and depressurize her because she's not super pressurized to get it out. So just in changing positions helps her be able to belch and help be able to burp. So again, she obviously is ready to get up and be active because when you consume high vibrational foods, your activity level like really goes up and your body just needs to move. She just needs to move, and clearly she's not able to move around on her own yet other than rolling all over the place. So I'm going to go help her move, and let me know if there's any other tips or things that you have questions about, and we'll go from there. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. Say bye, Sedona. Bye. And then we'll talk again next time.